Tire pressure monitoring systems have become a very confusing and complex part of the tire sales and service industry. Whether you like it or not, if you sell or service tires, you're in the TPMS business. For many tire dealers, this growth category has become increasingly difficult to manage. Did you know there are over 1,400 unique OEM and aftermarket sensor part numbers from dozens of manufacturers, many requiring their own unique servicing parts, fitment options, programming instructions, with technology and hardware that may not be interchangeable with each other. There are many pre-service warning conditions that may disable the ability to service a TPMS system. For example, is my scan tool compatible? Will I be able to perform the service? There are over 130 unique relearn procedures that are spread across 3 different types of technology. In fact, many vehicles have 2 or 3 separate relearn procedures based on a very simple difference in production. There are many recalls and technical service bulletins from the OEMs about TPMS that may inhibit your ability to service your customer. There are new parts being introduced every day by the OEM that a tire dealer has no information on or access to. Many vehicle manufacturers have been moving from direct systems to indirect systems and may change back to direct in the future. With all these changes and complexity in the market, information is the key to becoming proficient and remaining professional. In the end, you must keep your customers in your shop and away from the competition and the dealer. Introducing the Motown TPMS Workstation. The Motown TPMS Workstation was built by tire dealers for tire dealers. The Motown TPMS Workstation is a web-based information platform that gives tire dealers and repair facilities all the critical information they need to service TPMS-equipped vehicles. Most important, the Motown TPMS Workstation is right where you need it, when you need it, at the sales counter, prior to service. The Motown TPMS Workstation is designed around your shop to quickly show important information like whether or not your scan tool is compatible and can shut off the TPMS light, what actions will require a vehicle to be relearned, if there are multiple OE sensors on a vehicle, including why, if there are any pre-service warnings that may require parts or technology you might not have access to. When it comes to relearn procedures, the Motown TPMS Workstation has the most accurate and up-to-date information. With just one click, Motown TPMS Workstation has multiple relearn procedures based on vehicle service action, multiple relearn procedures based on vehicle attribute, printable pages to include in the tire work order, and troubleshooting documents that include TSBs, recalls, and other important information that only the dealership knows. Finding the correct service kit in the Motown TPMS Workstation is very simple. Simply click the Service Kit button, and the TPMS Workstation directs you to the proper part you need quickly with no guessing. The Motown TPMS Workstation also includes proper torque settings on the vehicle kits as well as images of what's included in the package. When it comes to replacing a sensor, the Motown TPMS Workstation gives you the compatible sensor for the vehicle, then allows the user to create a record for that customer. These records store critical information for when this customer may return. For example, when a customer returns with the tire light on, a dealer can use his TPMS Scan Tool that records sensor IDs to find out which sensors may be causing the problem and verify in the customer records whether or not it was the one he serviced or not, without ever having to break the tire down. This is helpful for speed and accuracy in your shop. It also helps the integrity of your shop with the customer. One thing that sets the Motown TPMS Workstation apart from its competitors is the ability to reverse lookup TPMS parts. The Motown TPMS Workstation has a function called Advanced Search that will allow the user to enter specific attributes of a sensor like color, valve design, and shape, and then narrow the results to a small field to begin searching. Simply select the sensor from the list, and the workstation gives the user a picture of the sensor and how to find the part number printed on the part. To take this a step farther, once the correct part number has been found, the workstation gives the user a list of compatible vehicles to fit that individual sensor. With thousands of TPMS sensors from dozens of manufacturers, you'll never again have to guess if a sensor is right for a vehicle. One of the most important values of the Motown TPMS Workstation is that you'll have live support by TIA certified instructors and TPMS professionals to answer any technical questions and to help you through the most difficult TPMS problems you may encounter. Motown customers will have access to the best TPMS parts and information to service their customers with confidence. There is no other information resource on the market that provides the information that the Motown TPMS Workstation delivers. Let's take a look at where many tire dealers are getting their TPMS information from currently. Many tire dealers rely on a catalog, or flip chart to manage TPMS information? Well, this chart is in the garage, not where you need it. It's outdated once it's printed, and many times inaccurate with corrections coming next year. It's limited to select sensor service kits and vendors. There's no troubleshooting to speak of. You're on your own. You have to flip to the relearn code and then look the code up separately. This takes too much time. And digital information is the way of the future. Online information is used for every other part of your business. Why should TPMS be any different? Many tire dealers rely on very expensive automotive information data providers for help. Well, the relearns are published with the OEM process and dealer scan tools only, nothing with the aftermarket. There are no parts listed. There's no information regarding servicing of aftermarket sensors. There are pages and pages of irrelevant information, including wiring diagrams. Have you ever looked up TPMS information in one of these resources? Many part providers and vendors allow the dealers to use their website. Well, these websites are limited to one vendor only. What if you need to service another vendor's parts? There's very little content regarding the servicing of vehicles. Outdated and sometimes inaccurate information. There's no TSBs or troubleshooting, and no OEM information. Some tire stores have been sold a Total Solution TPMS Scan Tool, saying, "This is all you need." Well, this is a service tool that lives in the back of the shop. Everything you need on a 3-inch LCD screen. You can't engage the customer at the counter with a diagnostic tool. Not to mention, it can only be used by one person at a time. Lastly, some dealers have been talked into purchasing an expensive balancer or alignment machine with TPMS information for help. Well, these tools are to be used to balance tires or align vehicles. You cannot look up TPMS information while the equipment is performing its intended purpose. The information listed in these pieces of equipment are very difficult to understand. All relearn information is written with the OEM dealership in mind, not the aftermarket. And it's kind of hard to speak with your customer about TPMS around a tire balancer in the shop. The Motown TPMS workstation gives you all the information you need to service every part of the sales and service process with TPMS. With the Motown TPMS workstation, you'll have the confidence and competence to capitalize on TPMS, the fastest growing category in your business.